I hope your front door is locked and your phone is switched off. It's match time, and nothing can come in the way of a head coach and his Blood Bowl.
All right. Hello, Draysen.
Evening.
Hi again. So, you had a replay that you would like me to have a look at?
Yes, more specifically, I have a matchup that I would like to discuss, and I have a replay that sort of goes along with that, given that it is the matchup. So it kind of helps just to have a focal point and to be able to sort through some stuff. But yeah, basically, the UK BBL is the only league that I care about a lot, and I have a game coming up which I fear I will lose because he's currently 4-0-0 and the top of our group with Orcs.
And yourself?
3-0-1. So
okay, not bad.
Doing
for
all
Rookie
right.
Chaos. At least I assume you're Chaos.
I am.
Yes. So for Rookie Chaos, 3-0-1 is an excellent record, actually.
I'm happy with it. It's going well. However, the loss was to an Orc, and I'm now playing another Orc, and
And you don't have Claw.
And I have one Claw. I now have a Claw.
Okay.
In my previous game, I leveled up I purposefully gave it to a Warrior, managed to level him up through Touchdown, and now he has Claw.
But no Mighty Blow.
No Mighty Blow.
Yeah. Okay, so against Orcs, there is something to be said for one Claw early. I did that on my Chaos team, and then it didn't pay off because I still lost to the Orcs.
Right. I mean, I hate it normally, but against Orcs, it's... Yeah.
Exactly. The only reason I did it is the same as the reason you're doing it now. All right. So, could you give me a team name or a...
Yep. So my team name is K Zerg. That's the letter K and then ZERG.
That should be enough. Doesn't show... Wait, not live.
Capital K, capital... Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't matter.
Hail to the King is the opponent.
That's the one.
All right, here we go. So, like last time, I'll be telling you where I'm pausing.
Yep. All I did was loaded it up and skipped to the kickoff, essentially.
I'm still loading over here.
No problem. So my first question is relating to initial setups, because against certain races, I like to spread my lineup, or be more wary of people running down the sides or whatever. But against Orcs, I tend to be fairly happy just leaving it open, having a big line of guys up front to smash the front guys, and having a couple of guys back to pick up the ball. Anything I should be wary of?
I think against Orcs, we're talking early Orcs, right?
Yep.
Not a lot of guard, not a lot of Mighty Blow.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm just looking at the starting setup here.
Sure.
Let's see, skills. All right. So against an Orc team like this, it has the only Mighty Blow it has is on the Troll. It does have a couple of guards. I would probably be tempted to put my Warriors on the line.
Right.
Just.
By the way, the game I will be playing, he won't have a Troll.
He won't have a Troll. Okay.
No.
Does he have guard?
Let me just check his team out. 1 second. I think he does have a guard. Let me find it. Hold on.
Because if he doesn't have guard, then putting the Warriors on the line is definitely a good idea.
Okay. Just grabbing his team.
With no Mighty Blow, just focusing, making sure your Armor 9s are the ones taking hits is good. It also means your Warriors will be in the thick of it, which is where you want them anyway.
I've lied to you. He does have a Troll.
Okay.
So he does have a Troll. He does have one guard on a Black Orc. He's got plus agility on his thrower. He's got Mighty Blow on one Blitzer. And he's got a Goblin.
Nice. So yeah, if for that game, I would probably still be putting my Warriors on the line, because they're all the three that don't have Claw are all rookies, right?
Yeah. Now I need to check my own team, but I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no worries. So I would just put your rookie Warriors on the line simply because Armor 9 keeps them in the game, and reduces the value of his initial blocks. All right, I've hit play. He's doing his setup for defense.
Okay.
So in this matchup, you've got some Mighty Blow, some Strength, a Wrestle.
It's similar to what I'll have, a little bit worse. So in the game that I'm going to play, I'm going to have 2 Mighty Blows, a Claw, and a Dodge.
Okay. Well, I'll just focus on this one for
Yep,
now because
yep,
I think it's a
yep.
bit...
It's confusing otherwise.
Yes, exactly. Right, so you're carrying with a rookie, that's fine. You could consider carrying with a block guy. Just for safety. So what you've done here for your setup... Oh, wow, it's instantly punished as well. I was going to say, you left one flank very open, which is terrible if you suffer a blitz. And you do.
Yep.
Yeah, so what I would have done is put 2 guys on the right flank just for this occasion. And then one of them would get blitzed down. And in this case, the kick is also in an awful, awful spot.
Yeah.
And that's just luck because he doesn't actually have kick.
Yes.
But, you know, a roll of 10 happens fairly often. I don't have the exact results. I don't have the exact odds in mind. In this case, you're also very vulnerable to a perfect defense.
Because he could just line up against me.
Yes, because those 4 guys on your left flank are all on the LOS, and they don't need to be, right? I mean,
Right.
I can see why the 5 guys in the center want to be on the line of scrimmage. But the 4 guys that are not connected could have been 1 square back or 1 square to the side or stuff.
Right,
And
so they should have been.
that could have left you a lot safer in case of a blitz.
Right. I knew it was wrong. I just couldn't tell exactly why. The reason that they were set up there is because I wanted to get a claw on his guard guy, trying to take a guard guy out of the game early.
Yeah, so what you could do, for instance, here, is you move your claw guy 2 squares back, and you move that warrior 1 square back.
Yep.
Then you've still got your blitz. The claw guy is safe from getting hit on a blitz action, on a blitz kickoff result. And the wrestler would be free to move to the other flank to protect against possible blitz from the opponent.
Right. Yeah.
And that would have been a lot safer. So in this case, you also got punished for it quite severely. But
I did, but that's okay. No, I'm almost glad because it made me think about it a lot. So
yeah, that's good. I see that. So he's not blitzing that warrior away right now, which is a bit surprising, but he can still do that with a black orc, I suppose. Probably is going to. Just wants to get into a safe spot first. Yeah, so if the kick had been deep, he would have probably swarmed your 4 guys on the left flank and gotten you in trouble. But since the kick was a shallow, he got a really, really good situation going here. Doesn't catch it. I guess he doesn't reroll. So yeah, right now you're thinking... I've paused at the start of your turn 1, by the way.
Okay.
Let me just get the turn thingy out of the way. So your thoughts should be on regaining control over the area where the ball is. And that's going to be very hard. Because you've got 6 important players, the ones that are closest to there, tied up.
yeah.
So I might be tempted in your situation to actually blitz with the wrestler. Simply because he's the 2 guys who can blitz Trash Binder, nice name, are not going to be... you're going to want those 2 to protect the ball.
Okay.
Right? And you also really want that guard guy down. If you blitz him and it's merely a push, that will really, really increase your problems.
Yeah, I was trying to get both guys down because there's also lamp cam with guard.
Oh, wait.
The lineman.
I'm not seeing the skills now. That's interesting. There. You're trying to get both guys down? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to get them down so that they couldn't sort of have their choice position of where to put his guard guys. I wanted them to be just having to stand up and be where they were, sort of thing. I was trying to just control his guard a little bit.
Okay, so I've hit play. I'm seeing what you're doing.
Okay.
So... Oh, wow. Okay, so what you're doing now, you move the claw guy next to his guard on the left flank, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Fantastic. And the claw guy is a beast. He's got movement 6.
Yeah.
So he's the one who can get over to the other side where he's going to be relevant, because you're gonna be in a huge amount of trouble on your right flank, right?
Yes.
So I would have used the warrior to mark that blitzer on the left, and use the claw guy to get as far towards the area where he's needed instead.
Okay, just use his speed. Right, so my thought
Yeah.
was the claw guy is the guy most likely to cause an injury, and to have any chance in this game, I need to kill his guard. So I was trying to set up... I was trying to make
A block for next turn.
keep that guard guy away from the fight, point one, and hopefully take him off the pitch in the following turns.
So keeping him away from the fight is something Brood Lord could have done by himself, just standing in front of him. And normally I can see the point in trying to set up a block for next turn, right?
Yeah.
If you're in control. But right now, you are completely out of control. Well, that's not exactly how you say this, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The area which is very, very important right now is not even contested anymore. It's his. So your complete priority should be regaining control of that situation. Once you've got that, you can start thinking about attrition again.
Okay.
Because if you don't fix this, then the part where you lose because the status quo gets upset has already happened, and then you're running behind the facts for the rest of the game.
Okay. I was trying to keep in mind, because when we had our first session, one of the things we realized I was never doing was identifying targets and then trying to take those targets out.
Definitely true. So normally that would have been better off with a wrestle. So normally I do think that the early turns are more about identifying targets and getting good hits on them. But that's starting from the assumption that when you're receiving, you're the one in control.
Right, yeah.
And that's why you can focus your game not on getting forward too much, not on getting a scoring threat, but also not on complete positional, but really on getting the right targets out. But since in this case you've already lost control, your priority has to be in regaining that.
Okay, so I just need to be a bit more adaptive.
Yeah, it's really kind of context sensitive what's the right thing to do. And in this case, the context changed on you tremendously. And yes, you'd have to adapt to that. Seed is asking in chat how many games you've played in total.
Good question. 300 hours I think I've got on the game, and I really haven't played much of anything tabletop or BB1 or anything, so that's about it.
300 hours, and that's mostly chaos, right?
Yeah, I'd say more than 50%.
All right, so you went for a 1-die here.
Which one? Sorry,
sorry, your warrior made a 1-die straight ahead against his black orc.
Sure. When did I do that? Oh, yeah, I'm catching up. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
And if you wanted to go for a 1-die, you might have opted to 1-die the troll instead.
Yes.
Because if you had 1-died the troll back, then the beast roach could have 2-died the black orc, which would have freed up Overlord.
I'm now looking for names. Right. Okay. But what happens instead, I believe... Okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Because, again, it's about where is the focus of the game. In this case, it's the ball. And where is your strength? And in this case, it's in the middle. So by pushing the troll away and 2-dying the black orc, nose dice, you would have been able to move Overlord, a strength 4... Beastman next to the ball, and this would have given you a lot more control again. So
I tried to. Well, I didn't even manage to free anyone up. I just dodged out. But right, okay, I see. Yeah. So that's a 3+ with your reroll already gone. Also, the player going there is not a strength 4. Oh, but the bounce helps you a bunch. I see. Yeah. So that's definitely if that bounce had gone the other way, then that would have probably been game. Especially with that. Would it? I mean, look at where all my guys are. It's quite difficult to get past that. I mean, he might have got the ball, and yes, I mean, I'm unlikely to score out of that, but I'm not screwed, am I? Well, if this drive ends 0-0, if this half ends 0-0, that's a half that he's won. Yeah, okay. If we're looking at it that way, then yeah. Yeah, because the overarching picture is typical Blood Bowl games end in a 1-1. In order to win it, you need to do something about that. And
stopping you from scoring would be enough to do that. And, you know, I mean, he wouldn't score immediately, but this is his turn 1. If he's got plenty of turns to create an advantage and make an opening at some point.
Yeah, do something with it. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, and then he won in 81s. Well, that's quite the recovery.
Well, that's what I like this game. One of the reasons I picked this game is because I think overall, I agree that initial blitz was bad, but it was my fault anyway. But I felt the dice were in my favor in this game, generally speaking, and yet I still managed to lose. So that's one of the reasons I picked it.
Oh yeah, that sounds like something you could learn a lot from. Good call. Right. So I'm watching you blitz. Let's see what you blitz here. You blitz the thrower. Okay.
Reason being, I figured there was 2 things. One, he's a mighty blow guy, and he's the lowest armor on his team, so it was the best chance to sort of.
Yeah, and it's a good target. I mean, it's a plus movement block carrier, so I can see that. I would have liked. So again, prioritizing. You've got a fair amount of control around the ball, but I would have liked to see Lupak go down, and not just because he's Lupak, but because he's connected to the guys protecting the ball. So I would have liked to see that block first, at least. Other than that, I can kind of see this blitz. It also sets up a 2 die on the troll, which is a nice little bonus. So mighty blow hit on the thrower. And just a stun, okay. But setting up the 2 die is good. Claw hit, which you invested in, paying off. 1, 2, 3. So here, you've made this claw hit, right?
Yep.
That means the warrior is now free.
Yeah.
Yet you're making blocks that are 1 in 9 to turnover before moving him.
Right.
Now, is he where he needs to be?
Absolutely not. No.
And is the spot where he needs to be going to change when you make those blocks? Is that going to really alter where he needs to go?
It does actually, because of an action that I take in a second, which you can tell me whether it was retarded or not.
Okay. Well, let me watch the block. So
Sure.
you push him off. That's good. I don't think I would have followed there probably, but. Okay. So are you going to swing left then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good call. I don't mind the swinging left at all. I think you're increasing your positional control. But if you knew you were going to swing left, then he could have moved before that block.
He could have done it earlier. Right, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you were not going to swing left, then he could have moved too, just further.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So just, again, I need to focus on finding guys that don't require any rolls. Yeah.
Do you have a bribe here?
No.
Okay.
I do have I think, did I have a bench? No, yeah, I've got a bench. I've got a bench of 2 guys.
No, I'm thinking more of
turnover.
Risks turnover, yeah. Because I would rather risk the pickup. In this case, you rolled a 2 and a 1, so it's good that you didn't, but, hindsight. But I would have rather risked the pickup before the bribe. Before the foul.
Okay, but would you take that foul? That's my next question. It's a 42%.
Well, you've got 2 bench.
And it's his block guard guy.
It's a guard guy. So yeah, I think it's a decent enough foul.
Okay.
Yep. So you pick up the ball, you go to the designated spots, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you don't take the shot on the troll.
It would be a 1 die.
Yeah, well, I think you could have made it 2. I don't think I would have made the foul here, actually. Not because of the odds, but because of what you're giving up.
You'd rather have a 2 die on the troll.
Exactly. Just because the troll can now block his way into your cage. It doesn't really create a hit on the ball, but it creates a position of strength for him.
Okay. Okay, so the foul would have been good, except that I needed the guy to set up the 2 die.
Yes, exactly. The foul wasn't bad per se, but in this case, I think you had better uses for the player.
And would you have risked a 2 die, knowing that it would basically open me up for him to jump all over the ball carrier had it failed? Because he would simply blitz the block Chaos Warrior out the way, and then it's hunting season.
Come again?
So if I take, let's say, instead of taking the foul, I bring the Beastman up and I put him on the Troll. I then take the 2 die. If that goes wrong...
but you had 2 Beastmen. You had Zergling and Mutalisk, right?
Hold on. Can't seem to
Basically, the 2 rush guys, yes.
Yes.
So Mutalisk could have been 1 square south from where he is to prevent Trashbinder from blitzing the ball carrier, which he could from here, by the way. Half die, though. So Zergling, Mutalisk 1 square south would have kept Trashbinder in check, and Zergling could have provided the assist on the Troll.
Right. Okay. I see.
That I think would have made for a far safer position, stronger positional play.
Right. No, that's nice. I like it.
I guess since you're a regular, you know that Ducke is also a formidable coach.
I don't. I sometimes play against people that are obviously decent. I find that out sort of during the game, but I don't know who anyone is. I'm not really. I don't really know people yet.
So Ducke is a coach who regularly becomes the top Bretonian coach.
Just because he likes them, or just because he likes a challenge, or?
Not 100% sure.
Okay.
He does very well with them. So I watched that bit of good fortune for you here. The Troll knocking himself out.
I'm always a big fan of that.
Yeah, I can see why. So you're still in a bashing war with Orcs, which is,
So
it's both of your play styles, and that's a problem.
But it's better than his, right? Sorry, he's better at it. So should I be trying to avoid this style, or should I simply accept that the Orcs are better at it, but this is my style, and trying to do something elfy is going to get me killed? That's sort of one of my overall questions about this matchup.
There is no right answer, because there is no way between 2 equally competent coaches. There is no play style that will give you better odds than the Orcs, because their team's just better. Mm-hmm. That's the simple answer. Mm-hmm. The one thing that you've got that he doesn't, which you need to leverage when it can save you, is horns.
Okay.
Horns is the only redeeming feature, and horns on 7 guys is of course not ideal either.
Yeah. Where are you up to now? Sorry, I'm trying to...
Let's see. You're just throwing a block on his tackler, I think. Yep.
Oh, so my turn 3. Okay, onto that.
Yes, exactly. So, basing all of his black orcs, that's gonna leave you in trouble, isn't it? I'm watching this now.
There was a reason for this. Yes, it's because I tried...
Oh, you're doing the handoff.
Yeah.
Okay. And then a blitz. Alright. Well, with the strength 4, this isn't awful. So you're pushing for a
so
quick
I take it you don't like
then.
it then.
Well, I mean, if this thing goes as you want it to, you're going to give the Orcs 4 or 5 turns to score against you. That's a 2-to-1 grind.
Uh-huh.
If this goes as you don't want, then you don't score at all.
Yeah, okay. However, my biggest problem against Orcs in the past has been not scoring at all rather than scoring too fast. So when I saw the opportunity to score at all, I took it.
Well, in this case, I mean, he's got a 3+ for a 1 die, and the 1 die is 50-50, right?
3+ for a 1 die, 50/50.
Because
yes.
his thrower can just assist from there, and then his blitzer can dodge out and blitz you. So 3+, and then he gets a 1 die because you're strength 4. And the 1 die is 50/50 because of both down, a POW, or a POW push are all good for him.
Yes.
So that's the kind of odds that you give someone if you don't have an alternative.
Okay.
It's too easy a hit on the ball, and in the backfield you're also isolated. I mean, if he could get a hit like that on the ball, and then you'd have 4 or 5 players to recover with, that's not good but acceptable. But now you're giving him a hit on the ball in an area that you don't control.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. Question.
Yes.
I've got to say, watching this game back, I really didn't realise I played this badly. I knew I played badly, but it was this is quite special. The KO on the claw guy. Are you? Let's say this comes up in the UK BBL game, and my Chaos Warrior with claw gets knocked out relatively early. Are you ever appoing that? In this game, I'd say not. But if it was a Chaos Warrior,
if you want to win the game, then probably yes. If you want to preserve your team, then probably no. That's entirely up to you. So UK BBL is a long season, right?
Pretty long.
Yeah. So when I made my G-Man Chaos, that's a 12-game season, I think, as well.
Okay.
So pretty similar. I started off saying, you know what, I'm not in it to win this. I'm playing Rookie Chaos. There's no way that I'm going to win this season. This is a builder season.
Okay.
My goal is to get star player points. From that logic, I would not have Appoed. But if you think you can win, then you might want to really risk your players for the chance at the win.
I think my only I think if I beat this guy, then there is a chance of doing pretty well, brackets, winning, brackets, doing, much better than I expected. Because he's currently top, and it would put me in second or something like that.
Yeah, you would be shared first with 401.
Right, yeah.
Because he's 400 and you're 301, so that makes sense.
Yes, but the second guy would likely win his game, assuming that he carries on as he is, and therefore he would go into first. But
still,
but the point remains that this is like if I lose that game, then I'm very solidly third and probably messing around with third, fourth, and just talking about special player points.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, because you're also playing against the number 1, I'd say it's worth investing in the win. So it's worth appoing for the match rather than player preservation. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I'm unpausing, and he's blocking with a black orc and dodging out for the blitz, I guess, and failing it and succeeding, and the blitz is a push. Yeah. So Valenich just told you in chat. So the dodge has a 2/3% chance of success, and the sack has a 50% chance of success, which means you've got a 1 in 3 chance of losing the ball and him not even having to reroll it.
Which is pretty... Well, that's just too bad.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I think what happened was I basically just forgot about the thrower and I thought it would be a half die. What's the odds if it was a half die?
It would be a 1 in 4 on the blitz itself.
And so therefore it'd be a 1 in 3 followed by
12.5%. Yeah, exactly. So a third of 25%, which is a bit less than 10%, and then the reroll changes things up. We could do the math, but...
Okay, but that might have been acceptable?
It would have been more acceptable, certainly. But still, even with a half die, I wouldn't have rushed out like that.
Okay.
Simply because rushing out like that is what you do when you're either sorely outnumbered. In this case, you removed his troll, so you're not outnumbered.
Technically, he removed his troll, but yeah, I take your point.
Yeah, his troll removes himself, which is a big strength advantage for you. And you were recovering control.
Yeah.
And control is what the game's all about. You lost it because of the blitz and the setup. You regained it because of dice, mostly.
Yep.
Both the bounce and his subsequent 2 turnovers.
Oh, without a doubt.
And here what you've done is you were in a situation of strength because you had control, you had movement on your players, you could form a cage, you could advance slowly. And instead you chose to give up control by rushing forward in the potato play. And I don't think there was a call for that.
Okay. No, I can see that, and that sounds reasonable. I think I'm scared of orcs, and I
rightly so
was expecting to get hurt. So
yeah, the sensible game where you're in control is one that's very hard to play with chaos, rookie chaos, and one that's pretty hard to play against orcs, regardless, unless you can clop on them. So you're right to fear the matchup, but if the match is going surprisingly well, as it was for you, then there's no need to act on that fear, because at that moment the fear is still irrational.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
If this had been, if you made this play with rushing out like that on turn 6 or 7, it would have been decent. Right. And if you made that play because 3 of your players got stunned and you couldn't get a safe spot, so instead you rush out, that's also decent. But in this case, you had the game, or at least you had the control of the drive, and I feel like you kind of gave it away and even got off lucky with him not sacking you.
Yeah. I from looking back on this game, it's even worse than I remembered it being. Yes.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Just focus on why also.
Yeah, no, I'm appreciating the insight.
Yeah. So I guess you're setting up a chain push here?
Don't remember, don't think so.
Right, so I see you moving the roach in. Oh, okay. So
I think that was the only place he could reach, and I wanted to make sure that they were both. They had to do something if my plan didn't work.
Yeah. So what you can do in a situation like this, and these things come up a lot. If you see where you place roach.
Yep.
If you blitz his thrower from the southwest corner.
Yeah.
Then if he goes down, then you can push either your beastman northwest or his blitzer directly east, and that would allow you to run off and be safe and even stall for a turn.
That might be what happens, but I can't remember.
I don't think it is, because I see you're moving Zergling up.
Yes. Because maybe I did it. Maybe I just did it flat. I can't remember.
So in your situation, I would have probably moved Zergling into the spot where Roach is, and then blitz the thrower with Roach, because Mighty Blow. And then hopefully chain push the Orc blitzer 1 square right, and then you move 6 squares and stand 1 square away from the end zone.
Yeah.
And
1 square
the blitzer
away?
could 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could do 2 even.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm keeping in mind that horror story I had from the other week.
Yeah, the one we discussed in chat, right?
Indeed.
Yes. Yeah, so you could do 2 squares away. That would be blitzable by the Orc. You could make 1 GFI and then you wouldn't be blitzable anymore.
Okay. I've literally have had nightmares about that game.
Well, let's call it a learning experience.
I've also had nightmares about this foul I make now.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. I'm watching it now. Oh. It's just a... Why?
Just why did I do that? I haven't got a clue.
No, I mean, why are you having nightmares about it? It's not
because I just watched it now and it's retarded. I mean, he's in contact with the ball carrier and I don't have a bribe, or at least I don't think I do.
Ah, yes, of course. So I thought you meant the outcome, but you meant just the decision.
Just the decision was bad enough.
Yeah, the decision wasn't great, but you dodged out and you made it. All right. So we have a touchdown, but it's early. So you're well on your way to a 2-to-1 grind. Mm-hmm. You're also giving him a chance to recover his troll, which he does.
Yep.
he has a goblin, so stalling against him does get... He doesn't have a goblin, does he? Yeah, he does have a goblin. So stalling against him gets a bit... poor.
Stalling against him, guess what? Because the next guy's going to have it. So what's the thought process behind the troll goblin thing?
So the thing is, normally, stalling makes you safe from the upset of the status quo, right?
Yeah.
Status quo is you score 1 in your half, he scores 1 in his half, you tie.
Yeah.
However, one big thing, so stalling makes sure that happens. Mm-hmm. And preventing the other guy from stalling creates the opportunity for a 2-to-1 grind.
Yeah.
Which is what he's doing to you.
Yeah.
However, if you stall, and he has a goblin and a troll, that means he has a chance to make a 1-turn touchdown.
What are the chances of that? Because I've never actually seen it. I know I'm an idiot, but I've just never seen it. I just don't play it that much.
If you have kick, they get a lot lower, the chances. Uh-huh. So the thing is, he's not allowed to pass the ball and the goblin. So that helps. That means he needs to be able to reach the ball and hand it off to the goblin with 1 move.
Which is unlikely.
Well, I mean, if he's got 2 blitzers at the back and he's got his thrower in the middle back and the other 2 blitzers on the side corners, for instance, you can picture that. So they're kind of like a star shape around the center. So then the ball would have to land pretty poorly for him not to be able to reach that, right?
But
with 6 movement plus 2 GFIs.
Sure hands on it, right? Because he's only got 1 corner of the star with sure hands.
Sure.
Okay.
So then you're looking at a 3+ pickup, maybe a GFI or 2, a 3+ handoff.
Yeah.
But then the troll still has to do stuff, and that's kind of complicated because he needs to succeed his really stupid, which is a 2+, at least. Let's assume it's a 2+. Uh-huh. He needs to succeed on his always hungry, which is a 2+. Yeah. Otherwise, he tries to eat the goblin. Uh-huh. Then he needs to throw, and that's pretty much always going to be a 3+. He could throw 2+, but then he'd have only 3 squares range instead of 6. That's never going to cut it. So that's a 3.
So it's a 3, right?
And then the goblin has to land. That's a 4 if there's no tackle zones.
4+ to land.
Yeah, so it's an agility roll with no bonus. So 4+ to land for the goblin, assuming he's agility 3. And then depending on... So it scatters 3 times because the throw teammates can never be accurate.
So the goblin scatters 3 times.
The goblin scatters 3 times being thrown.
And if he goes into the sidelines, he gets injured?
Yes, if he can get surfed by getting thrown into the crowd, yes.
Okay.
So the goblin also suffers a -1 to landing per tackle zone. Okay. Which is why there's a particular way to defend against that, which is probably easier to show you. Well, maybe you can look this back afterwards. So what I do when I set up against the 1-turn for the goblin is I place my guys in the backfield, so the way you would against a natural 1-turner, for instance. Yeah. Except they're 2 squares apart instead of 1. So there's 2 empty squares.
Okay. What's the
reason for that is that the goblin has stunty anyway, so extra tackle zones don't help. So you spread them 2 squares out, so you go here and there and there.
Yeah.
And that means you've got 3 guys left who can go forward. And they can go 2 squares forward, so 3 squares forward from there. Mm-hmm. So that would be here, here, and here. And what those guys do is basically make it harder for the goblin to land. Because if he chucks the goblin down the center, then he's got a good chance of having to land in one of their tackle zones. That makes it a 5+.
Yeah.
If he chucks it down the side instead, it could go into the crowd.
Lovely. I see. Okay. I get that. That makes sense.
Right, and then depending on the scatters, he might need some GFIs with the goblin, and depending on the setup, he might need some dodges. So it's a low odds play, but it means he's gotten out. It means that even if you stall, even if you play completely by the book, you might lose turn 8 or turn 16 simply because he's got a troll and a goblin. This is actually the main reason why people decide to get a troll on an orc team.
Yeah, just to give them an out.
Just to give them an out. It also might make you decide not to stall.
and I assume that that people who take that will nearly always take kickoff return. To allow them to get this. I mean, on the thrower.
Kickoff return is a good skill on a thrower anyway. Yeah. I would get block, kickoff return, and leader in that order. I think on an orc thrower.
Okay. Okay. So where are you up to now? Oh, by the way, is this defensive? Like, this is my standard defensive setup that I just use whenever I don't have any reason to do something different. Any disadvantage of using this against orcs, or is it still okay?
Well, what I said before is if he doesn't have a lot of bash or a lot of guard, I mean, in this case he's got 2 guard and mighty blow. I would still be tempted to put my warriors on, especially if they're rookies. In this case, you've only got 1 rookie warrior, so it's not as good. But if you've got 3 rookie warriors, they would go on the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
I mean, sure, they're a bit more expensive, but they're not so protection worthy. And their armor 9 is just gonna make the body count help. Okay.
I very rarely do that. So, can you give me some ideas of when I should and when I shouldn't put 3 warriors on the line?
All right. So, if your warriors have become worthy of protection, then you protect them.
Okay. What would count as worthy of protection? Just block? Would that be worthy of protection?
Yeah.
So basically, anything which isn't a rookie.
Yeah, well, it also depends on the beast, I guess, but yeah. Probably if you've got skill on the warrior and not on the beast, I would put the beast on. It also matters a bit that you've got a bench. So I think I wouldn't have a bench this big on Chaos this early.
On this league, I had an actual concession against me, so I had a bunch of cash, and I ended up doing it that way. On normally, I don't do that anymore.
Your money should never be increasing your team value unless you want it to.
This team was created before I realized that. Sure. Yes, I should fire one of those guys.
12 players is fine on Chaos as soon as you can afford them. But a 13th guy is something I wouldn't take until I've reached the kinds of team value where you get bashed a lot.
Okay.
And also, by that time, you'll have a dirty player, so then 13 or even 14 could be good. But in this stage of the game, you want your team value to be in skills. Normal rolls, especially.
Yeah, especially with Chaos. Yeah.
All right. So I'm watching him set up against your defense.
Sure.
So other than that, I think it's fine. I think it's solid. Putting the strength 4 on the corner is good enough because he's less able to be targeted, I guess.
That was the thinking. I figured the 3 that were in the middle were the ones that I least wanted to die.
I don't think... If I were him, I wouldn't be targeting the guys in the back, which means they're safe enough.
Right, excellent.
So yeah, I think it's fine. I think your midfield strength is rather limited here. So your ability to block on turn 2 if you get pushed, because your warriors are out back. Because the guys who are out back are going to be the ones you want to be able to move around with, the beastmen. Whereas the guys who need to get stuck in the thick of it and both take and throw punches should be the warriors, because there your strength helps you, and you'll need all the strength you can get.
Right. And would another question just relating to kickoffs and stuff like that? If you go into a game and it's raining against the Orcs, are you kicking to them?
As Chaos?
Yeah.
Might do. I mean, it's a tricky question because you're banking on a 25% event, which is the pickup fails with sure hands on a 4+.
Well, that plus the fact that on the kickoff you don't get changing weather.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's one thing. And what you're sacrificing for that is the ability to punch first. And in a bashy matchup, then punching first is kind of good.
Okay. So in other words, we're saying basically not.
Well, the advantage is, of course, that you have 2 chances to get changing weather before you need to do any ball handling.
That's another thing, is that, we are giving him... We're hoping that he fails his double, but we're knowing that I'm very likely to fail my single.
Yeah, and having that cost a reroll is also costly, yeah. Well, I would probably usually still punch first, even in the rain.
Okay.
Just because the assuming you can get in control, which is the default assumption when you're receiving, then you want to be able to be the one to dish out the pain. Mm-hmm. Watching your positional defense here doesn't look bad. That's GFI, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Claw helps, or at least you get a stun. Yes, Claw helps. Yeah, this is quite alright.
I wanted him there because I wanted to bring that side back under my control and to allow myself to have a good chance to come in at his guard guys with the claw guy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I like... what I like about your setup right now is that he's got these 2... Sorry, my mouse is acting up. He's got these 2 guard guys diagonally connected with your 2 strength 4 guys, and that's just perfect.
Yeah, that
because
was nice.
Neither of them is using guard. Neither of them gets a 1 die as they're standing. So that means you're really keeping them busy very, very effectively. If they had been in a different kind of position, that could have easily been a position they can take. Okay, this is good. So he double skulls again.
Yep.
Do you have a shot at the ball? Yes, you do. Do you see that you have a shot at the ball?
I think I don't take it. I think I saw it. I remember thinking about this. And I remember thinking, my usual approach to this situation is to attempt the double GFI crazy, knock the ball out of his hand, see what happens, and try and secure it. And I thought, no, this time I'm going to be more disciplined. I'm just going to use his turnover to try and make my position better. And sadly,
control. Yeah. So I can see that logic, and I can appreciate it, especially this late. If this had been turn 2. And he would be receiving in his half, then a steal would be great. But this late in the game, the chance that you turn it into a touchdown gets lower. Mm-hmm. And if he scores, he upsets the status quo.
Yeah.
Which means you need to stop that from happening at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I can appreciate that. So then,
so without seeing what I do, what would you do here?
I think I'd go to the left flank.
The flank of my claw guy.
Yeah, put Corruptor next to the Garter and the Black Orc there, so that Lurker could chain push the Black Orc out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I'd assist from... Yeah, the problem is you really want to be able to get at the ball, right? You want to surround that. Mm-hmm. And you don't really have that opportunity because of where your prone guy is, Hydralisk.
Yes.
Your stunt guy.
I'm not entirely clear on why it would be... I see the chain push. What's the advantage of that? Why are you doing that? Why is that a priority?
He's removed further from the sphere of influence of the ball, mostly.
And so it's not to free up some pathway, it's just simply a positional thing?
Yes, control.
Okay.
What you could do if you want a guy next to the ball is you could move Ultralisk next to our richest T on the left.
Just finding this, hold on.
So the Black Orc in the center gets an assist on his left, and then you blitz on his right, probably with the wrestler. So then you'd have to cancel the Troll's assist.
Yeah.
But no, Yeah, that might be. So then you'd have a wrestler standing next to the thrower, ideally with no guys next to him.
You'd have a block beast stood ready to get his head caved in. Next to the troll, I mean.
Yeah, well, we all have to make sacrifices.
But I mean that in doing so, you would also have the rest. Oh no! If everything went well, the wrestler would be stood next to the thrower. If it didn't go well, the wrestler would be stood next to the thrower and a Black Orc, and
Exactly.
he would pound the block beastman into the ground and have a clear run down the middle.
Well, a clear run by himself is not a clear run.
Well, wouldn't he have a clear run with the blitzer that's hiding behind the troll and the Black Orc, and potentially the Black Orc as well?
Nope, because he's got 4 blitzers, right?
Yep.
3 of them you've got 2 dice on.
Yep.
The 4th you can mark.
So we'd mark the 4th one with one of my remaining 2 beastmen.
Yeah,
Overlord
Roach
or
probably
Roach.
would move around the right flank and mark him.
Yeah.
So then suddenly you've got all his agility 3 either down or marked. His agility 2 or 1 is going to be slow and in the way. And you would have a guy next to the ball carrier.
Okay, and that's the play you'd have made.
Yeah, I think so. Or a shot at the ball, but yeah, I'm a sucker for those.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's see what you're doing.
Sure.
Okay, so he goes there. Well, that also limits the ability of the orcs, of the Black Orc to get relevant, so that's fine. This is merely a push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So the fact that that was not a down already makes the shot at the ball not happen. Oh, that's sad. Oh, you make it with the reroll though. Okay, so you've got a guy next to the ball. That's good. You've got the 2 die blocks. He does still have that blitzer that we discussed that we were marking under my plan.
Yeah, I hope I mark him with Overlord. I think I do.
Yes, I'm again being taught Zacharel in my English skill. Right. So right now, what I see.
Oh, I didn't mark him. That's awful.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world though.
Oh, I remember why I didn't mark him. I remember. Because I didn't want to leave that scenario that I spoke about with him being able to barrel down the centre, so I wanted to have at least a couple of guys in there.
In this case, for him to barrel down the center, he would need to dodge the thrower, which he really doesn't want to do.
Yeah. I remember now why I did it. Okay.
So in this case, he's consolidating. He doesn't want to risk stuff, which is good. So now the blitzer goes and becomes a receiver, which opens up the thrower. Right? Unless there's something I'm missing here. Where is he going to put the thrower?
He puts him next to the troll.
1, 2, 3. What? That's completely exposed.
This is where horrific mistake number 2 comes in, or I should say number 22. Because I think I don't take the shot. We talked about this in game.
Wow. I have to admit, I'm rather amazed that Duck gave you this shot.
Yeah, and even more amazed I didn't take it. So here is the...
So I'm just watching the turn now without your actions yet.
Sorry, where are you up to?
I'm at the pause at the start of your turn 7.
Right, okay. And so the shot is from the Mighty Blow guy?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you'd have no GFIs. You'd have 2 dice. So I use the strength 4 Mighty Blow guy.
Yep, and just Mighty Blow the thrower straight up.
Yeah, so you'd have strength 5. He's got strength 5 if you want to come from directly south, which I would. So then you'd need someone to cancel those assists, which Zergling can do just fine. Just move 1 square northeast. And then you've got a great 2-die on the ball. It could even bounce out, but that's risky, of course.
Okay. So when you 2-die him and you get the power, where are you knocking him down? Behind the troll or by the sideline?
Yeah, that's tricky. That depends on your sense of risk. Because if you put him by the sideline and it goes out, then that could be really good or really bad. I think I'd be tempted to take it out, because if it's a short to medium throw in, then that will probably improve things for you, because you can still go and snatch it up. If it's a long throw in, then there's only a 1 in 3 chance that's actually bad for you. Only if it goes deep into the towards your own end zone.
Yeah.
So I think I would try and knock it out.
Okay.
Yes.
Theoretical question. If this was now turn 8 instead of turn 7, in other words, he's now got only one way to score, which is to get the ball to the guard blitzer. Guard block blitzer.
Yeah. Oh, then the guard block blitzer is your only target.
Right. I thought it was turn 8.
Yes. That makes a difference. Yes. That makes quite a difference for how you treat this turn. Okay. Fair enough.
My only thought was, let's make this as hard as physically possible to get the ball to that blitzer.
So you don't set up a Knorring threat.
I do not set up.
You don't hit the ball carrier. You focus only on his scoring threat, thinking you're a turn ahead of where you are.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, watching the turn timer is a very important part of Blood Bowl. It's one that I struggle with quite regularly. Why not a Mighty Blow punch?
Where was the Mighty Blow with that guy? Because that Mighty Blow guy was down, wasn't he? I thought that he just stood up and removed 3. Or did you mean on the guard blitz?
Overlord. Overlord could blitz the guard blitzer.
My thinking was... Hold on a second, sorry. My thinking was that if he cannot get past... So with 2 guys on the guard blocker, on the threat, and his tackle guy down, so in other words, he's only got 1 blitz, he can't possibly get past 5 guys and make a throw and catch it. It's just not going to happen. So it seemed like the safest play. Whereas if I try to blitz without block
Wait. If you think this is turn 8, then your priority is to take that guy down.
But if I hit him with my guy, then if I get a 1 in 9, then I've only got 1 tackle zone on him.
Well, then you hit him with the wrestler. You just blitz with the wrestler.
Right.
Why not hit the because he's got movement 6.
Yeah.
If he's there, if you take a both down, then he's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then he's 2 squares short.
Yeah, he can't possibly make it. Should have done it with the wrestler. Yeah.
What you do is you figure out how to stop him if you roll a push. So you position your players as if you had rolled a push, right? Yeah. The guys who are getting in his way. And then you blitz him with the wrestler. If it's a both down, you're good. If it's a push, then those guys are in the right spot. Because in this case, you've already positioned them to get in his way. And then you don't want to push him out because that makes it easier for him. Which is why you put them in the spots where they would go if you had rolled a push.
Right. I think that's one. I think that might have been the reason why I didn't blitz him afterwards, because I'd made a mistake, set my guys up, and then realized, oh god, if I push him. Yeah.
So that's well, with wrestle, I would have still been willing to do that. I mean, the wrestle blitz is a 75% with reroll.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, it's a 75% before the reroll.
How's that?
Because wrestle is good. That's a both down.
Yeah.
Pow push is good, and a pow is good. So that's 50-50 on a 1 die.
Yeah.
Makes 75% on a 2 die. Makes 6.25% on a 4 die.
What? On a. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. 6.25 to fail. You mean?
Wait, that's not right. 25%. Wow, math. 12.5.
12.5% to fail.
Is that right? Wow. Can't brain now.
It's all right. I mean, what we're basically saying on a 4 die, he's got a very, very
4 die with wrestle is a very good chance. Yes.
Right. So that was. This is good because obviously, I mean, I've accidentally chosen a terrible game of mine, so therefore it's.
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
you've made my job a hell of a lot easier.
But it's interesting that, I mean, I don't know whether I was tired or what, but I hope I don't normally play this badly. It's.
I've seen you play better.
Yeah, yeah. So no, it's good. I am listening and still learning some stuff, especially regarding the sort of target choice and stuff like that. So, all right. So moving on, I guess.
Yes.
Where are you up to
now? You're just ending your turn after that blitz.
Yep.
I see. He's got a. Okay, so that's good. I like that position. So for him to pass. 2, 4, 6. I'm just looking at what would his options be. If I were him, I would probably blitz Roach out the way. Dodge out on a 4 and 3 with the blitzer, and then pass towards the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he does. That looks rather like what I said. So... Yes...
I don't think it is, because he...
Oh, I'm just watching the blitz that he opens up with.
Ah, okay.
Oh. What? Oh, wait, it's not his turn 8, right? I knew that. In fact, it was quite... Yes, I do it too. I admit it. Right, so never mind. So that means he can actually... The reason for this is because I was working from your assumption that it were turn 8 before. That makes sense, right?
Excuses.
You were leading me on. Right. So because it wasn't turn 8, you both neglected to hit the ball, and you've left your left flank open, which means he can just advance there.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, that's one mistake of the kind that I'm very understanding of, so I won't spend too many words on it. Watch the turn timer. Yeah.
And so now, from this situation, how would you best stop this?
Jeez.
So I've now got the same mindset again, only more annoyed.
Yes, well, you've got the same mindset, except now you've realized the error of your ways.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. Bumping the mic there. Let me get this out the way. Right. So I think first order of business is trying to get rid of the guy on your right flank, simply because it's relatively easy.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a 2 die on him. If you knock him down, he's not scoring, then you can afford to forget about him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Take the 2 die with block. Be safe.
It's what I do.
Alright. And then...
No,
wait, you stood him up! You stood Broodlord up! No! Why?
Why not?
He's the one guy who can blitz his biggest scoring threat.
Again, okay, so this is where I've obviously got a problem. When I'm looking at this problem, I'm looking at how can I stop him getting a throw up.
Oh, wait, no, there's only 2... Like, stopping the thrower is going to be very difficult from here. You might force him to make a dodge. Whereas, you can make his score next to impossible by stopping him from receiving.
Right. Okay.
Besides, the thrower has got pass. If you somehow manage to knock the ball loose, he's got sure hands as well. That's not going to be... That shouldn't be your focus here. Your focus should be on the 2 receivers.
Okay. Incidentally, I've just realised that the fouls earlier weren't that stupid. I did have a bribe.
Okay, good.
I feel slightly better Very, very
Yeah,
slightly
that's nice.
mitigated.
Yeah. So in this case, what I would have done, I kind of spoiled it by saying no. You stood him up. Oh wait, you stood up a lurker as well, right?
I think I stood up everybody.
Okay, that makes it slightly better. I didn't see that because of the coloring thing. So yeah, you'd have to have a 3+2+2+ to blitz him, but then you would have 2 dice. Yeah, I would have still made that the focus of my play. So you block the guy on the right. Yeah.
Okay.
So you block the guy on the right. You try and position the guys who are free. That's only Guardian and Zergling, I think, just to get as in the way as you can, which is not at all, unfortunately. You block the guy on the right, try and knock him down, and then you would blitz with Brute Lord, 3+2+2+2 die. If you knock him down, then his score will be very hard. If you merely push him, his score will still be pretty damn hard, because Jimmy Bantastic is occupied there, so he can't blitz. Also, I would have considered leaving Zergling where he was.
Okay.
So that he could get in front of Jimmy Bantastic after trying that blitz.
But Jimmy Bantastic can't reach the end zone.
No, but he can free up Mighty Bald One after you've blitzed him with Brute Lord. Suppose you blitz with Brute Lord and you roll double pushes. And so Mighty Bald One is stuck. Then Jimmy Bantastic can blitz out and 1 die push him away. Or knock him down. So preventing it's again about control and where you're able to act.
So on these sort of situations whereby he's got a scoring threat and it's all a bit chaotic, item 1 is find a way to blitz the scoring threat. Item 2 is assuming those are pushes, how do I stop him getting freed up again?
Yeah, assuming you can prevent him from getting a good shot. You could do so the chat is arguing about the right side. If you start off pushing with Baneling and then pushing with Overlord, then he's still in scoring range. If you start off pushing with Overlord, then you could actually push him back 1 with Baneling, and then two sets of pushes would already prevent him from being in scoring range altogether.
That's what happens.
However, that would require starting off with a blockless block.
It's what happens.
But yeah, alright.
Would you not recommend it?
I think I would be going for the knockdown with Baneling, and then if that fails... okay, so this is fine. Yeah. So the problem is you've removed 1 of his scoring threats. That's good. But you've left the other one completely open and he only needs the 1, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to get in his way still, which is, acceptable as a plan B. But he's still got ways to deal with this. Yeah, I would definitely blitz to the left. It's 1 GFI more, and you've got 2 dice. Oh, wow. That's the reroll gone?
It didn't matter, it was my last turn.
No, I mean his. Sorry, I'm watching his turn 8 now.
Okay, you're up to that, okay.
And he double skulls on his first block to free up the thrower, which only needed a push.
I was delighted about that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a 4+3+ now?
It's a 50, 1 in 3, right, overall?
But it's all 6s. Yeah. Yeah, so the obviously the screw up of forgetting what turn it was instrumental here.
Yeah, yeah.
But even without that, you could have recovered better than this, I think.
Okay. No, it's good. I think the forgetting what turn it was, that's just an obvious thing and easy to fix. Just keep an eye on the clock, but I think the focus on the receiver is something I should definitely look at more.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's impossible to stop all scoring threats, then that's a lot less appealing. But if you know that you can knock the one down and prevent the other from getting there or something like that, then that's definitely where you want to focus.
Okay, cool.
Even if you knock the thrower down or prevent him from doing his stuff, one of the other blitzers can run in, snatch it up, and do stuff.
I'll make sure of it.
All right, so second half, he's got his status quo victory. He's also still got all of his players as to use, so it's a very, very friendly, cuddly match, this. I wouldn't have made that 3 die until I put someone near the ball, but that's alright. What the orc does, I mean, what Duck does,
I think we're at the same point.
Yeah, alright. So he's... Yeah, okay, so he wants the Garter to move in there. Well, you can't really reach the ball, but still, you know, he's got this gap here that I don't like. Filled up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's not terrible. I do think his position is quite forward.
Yeah.
Relative to what I would have liked. This helps though. The Black Orc moving in. Yeah, now you can't threaten in the back. He fills the pickup, but since he made this wall secure, it's not a problem. It's now a double layer wall, which means you can't really threaten him much.
Yeah. And what are you... So, you know, what's your... if we pause there for a second. This is a place where I often make mistakes, I would say. So I'm now looking at a wall of orcs who are up front, and yes, okay, he didn't manage to pick up the wall, but it doesn't seem to be much I can do about that anyway. So now, am I just setting up a column defense? I mean, I can't, right? He's going to win 2-1 if I do that, so...
Well, if you stop him from scoring, then you tie. That's not bad.
Okay.
In this case, because he failed the pickup, I would try and force him back. Mm-hmm. So that means trying to pressure the ball.
So blitzing the tackler and moving round?
No, what I would do is probably move Chaos Warrior Ultralisk 1 square northeast. Mm-hmm. Northwest. In front, between the two garters, basically.
Uh-huh.
Then blitz the guard lineman, Lampcam. Love that name. With Roach, for instance, or with Lurker. Uh-huh. So that you chain push Hydralisk northeast, and so that this is aside from all the repositioning that you might want to do. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you reposition everyone in the best non-connected defensive setup that you can get, so columns basically. Yep. And then what you do is you put him in there, you blitz from that corner, you chain push Hydralisk out, and you dodge him. So he's here, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now all of a sudden, it's not a huge threat because he's agility 3, but he does have horns, and the ball is on the ground. The thrower is back there by himself, which means you're not going to make that into your touchdown. Mm-hmm. You're going to make that into something that forces the orcs to move 3 players back instead of forward, which means you're winning terrain, basically. That's the goal of the action. Not to actually have it matter, but to have to force the opponent to make sure it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See that?
Yeah, yeah. What stops him from just pummeling Hydralisk?
Well, pummeling Hydralisk into the ground means moving 1 player back, or 2 if he wants to use block.
Yeah.
Which means that he's moving an assist, and he's blitzing backwards.
Why does he need an assist? Why couldn't he just use ring 18 and
he's got block on the Black Orc. Sorry. I was paused at a moment where I didn't show the skills.
Okay.
Sure. Even so, well, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ring 18 would need 2 GFIs to blitz where you could reach. Because remember, Hydralisk would get chain pushed.
Hydralisk was down at the start of this turn.
Yes, Hydralisk would get chain pushed 1 square.
Yeah.
Dodge out, and then have 2 more movement towards the ball.
Dodge out then.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
So that's you're forcing him to change his game plan from forward to backward, which means you're winning next turn maybe 3 or 4 squares in terms of where the line happens. And if he wants to consolidate his forces, then everyone else is going to have to kind of go, wait, what are we doing? Why are we here? Where are we going? Because they're going to be regrouping around a different spot altogether, and that means you're winning terrain, which means he might have to make a gamble later and stuff like that.
And we absolutely should be playing for a tie here, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, if he gives you a good shot at the ball and you can steal it, go for it. But
generally speaking,
yeah. Generally speaking, this is a tie would be good here.
Yep.
Because again, status quo now is he wins 2-1 because he got the 1-1 in your half.
Yeah.
Because this is a 2-1 grind game unless you change it. So a tie would be good for you here. Yeah. So I see you're connecting a hell of a lot there.
Yeah, I think it was. Again, I'm trying to remember exactly my thought process to be accurate, but I think it was essentially he's got problems picking up the ball, and so he's going to have problems forming a cage if he's got to sort of connect everybody. And if he makes a single 1 in 9 or something goes wrong, then I'm in much more. I'm further forward and I'm able to get a ton of blocks and try and turn this around.
Fair enough. So the same logic, but without the single guy out back.
Yeah.
So the downside of this way of doing it is you're giving up a lot of blocks and you're not gaining a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Because he's throwing more punches, which means at some point he's going to have a bigger numbers advantage.
Yeah.
And not gaining the ground means because you're giving him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks this turn, and 2 of them are armor 9, 4 of them are armor 8.
So we could expect an injury at least.
Well, you can expect that doing that consistently is gonna cut down your numbers at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you want to connect only when you think you're really giving him a hard time. Okay. Like what you did before, when you had those 2 garters and you put your strength 4s diagonally across from them. That was great, because there you're connecting in a way that's very meaningful. You're connecting in a way that's costing him more resources than the block is worth.
Yeah. Because he's got to connect 4 guys to make.
Now you're giving him blocks that he would want to take anyway.
I see the difference.
Good.
Where are you up to now? I'm on.
He's just blocked with his garter. Now he's blocking with a rookie black orc, not 1 in 9ing. Well, you basically have to 1 in 81 for that to really come back and bite him. The troll boneheaded, which is a pity for him, because he's now. I wouldn't have done that, to be honest. He's now moving this... wait, he didn't blitz. Yeah, he did blitz. So the KO happens, as suggested. So now he has to go... Oh, he just hangs back. Fair enough. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. Now you can afford this. It's not bad. Still, with the troll stupid, it means you can at least get a threat on the ball. That would have been a big win for you if it weren't for the fact that you don't have enough defense to prevent him from getting past you.
Yeah. It was
because you've got a stun, you've got a KO, and you've got a bunch of prones, which means if you do your blocks now, he's still got a pretty strong position.
Yeah.
Ideally, at the end of your turn, you're in such a position that his guys are down, and he needs to spend his turn getting up. Right now, that's what he did to you, basically. So yeah, the threat is good. 1 guy there is fine. Everyone else has to defend, assuming he's going to get past. So now you're sending a 2nd guy in. If you needed the win here, sending the 2nd guy in would not be bad.
Okay. I figured sending 1 guy in is just asking a guy to get blitzed and so on. Sending 2 guys in is what you spoke about earlier with making him move back. Because he's got to mark 1, blitz the other, and preferably get assists on both.
Yeah, except now he's got a thrower with the ball. And if you overcommit on the backfield, he might hand off or pass. And you don't send out more than you can spare while defending.
Okay.
So if you have a full squad and you're columned up nicely and he can't get past, he can only regroup in the center, then sending 2 guys out is fine. But if you just suffer the KO and the stun and you're prone a lot, sorry, my throat.
No problem.
Right. So if you're kind of overcommitting a bit, then that's very risky, because now you're sending 2 guys forward. You've got this gap in the center. He's also stronger on the right field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could quite easily tie up the claw guy and or the block guy and move down towards his left flank. You're right.
Yeah.
And that would leave you just about powerless to stop him, because he will just have passed you by already. Okay.
So instead, you would have put the block guy through, as I did.
Sure, but then kept Hydralisk back.
Kept Hydralisk. Which one's Hydralisk?
The one on the left.
Yeah.
Kept
Kept him back, and also kept
or
Claw
the other
guy
way
back.
around. Yeah, so I would have just focused on my defense minus 1 player. That 1 player can run forward, make sure that he doesn't... You only want to deny him the luxury of hanging back with the thrower, basically.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hey, thanks for following, King Brodo. Welcome to the Sagelings. Right, this looks an awful lot like what I said I would do in his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, except he doesn't mark there. This is... Okay, he wants the 2 die. Oh, and he gets it too. Not sure why, because I think this was a mistake on Duck's part, actually.
Uh-huh.
Because, again, we're talking about where does the game matter, right?
Yep.
The game matters around where he just put the ball.
Yeah.
That's where his focus wants to be. And if you made a block with ring 18...
Yep.
Then, that's Shawnee, of course. Yes. That's a block with the block skill, which is perfectly safe. Then the Blitzer, Mighty Bold One, could move and assist on the block against Lurker, which means the Troll would have been free to go the other way and help around where the ball is. Right,
instead of taking that block.
Instead of... the Troll now just moved to assist that block.
Oh, the Troll. Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, and a Mighty Bolt One could have done that, which means the Troll could have been available to do more important stuff, like strengthen the position around the ball. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to enter the last couple of useful turns, because at a certain point this game is just over.
The game gets decided, and we're already an hour and a half in, so that's...
yeah.
That's probably not bad.
I'd say any time... at this point, you can have a look at maybe this stage, but I'd say almost after this turn, it's pretty much done.
Alright, so I'm just seeing... Okay, so he's dodging out there. Huh. Why, though? You weren't going to surf that. He was in a much better spot where he was. Alright.
So with this situation, what do we do? I'd say we're in serious trouble.
Your turn 11, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this serious trouble was perfectly predictable from your decision to put those 2 guys out there.
Right, that's what caused
this. That's the problem. If you know that he doesn't need to roll silly dice to put you in serious trouble, then probably something's not going quite right.
Yeah, okay.
Because what you did isn't force him to deal with those 2 guys. It's allowing him to get past them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big difference.
I suppose I don't yet have the field awareness to notice the difference between one and the other.
Yeah, I can see that. So it really depends on suppose my turn ends and I'm him. Can I get somewhere safe without dealing with them? That's the gist of it. Right?
Is there any way to flip the camera to see it from his side?
There is in the replay. There's a switch view button at the bottom.
Oh yeah. But not in game.
So if you're in game, I don't think so. No, it's definitely part of the replay interface thing.
Okay.
Maybe one of my viewers will say, "Oh yeah, sure there is." You just type I don't know, tilde mouse hacks or something, and then something like that. So your question is, how do I deal with this from this situation?
What's the highest chance, I would say? I don't think we can deal with this, but what gives us a good shot?
First order of business is bringing your 2 beastmen who went overcommitting on threats. Mm-hmm. If the ball had been on the ground, this might have been fine, by the way. Because then he couldn't risk the pickup before dealing with those. I think that's a really big difference here. Because he was holding the ball, he could just move somewhere else without rolling dice.
No dice at all, yeah.
Exactly. If he had to do a pickup, which would fail on a 1 in 9, he could not afford to leave those 2 guys standing there. So he would have to commit resources to stopping them from threatening.
I don't think
take a risk, of course.
Enough difference to that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now he can just say, okay, you're there? Fine, I'm not.
Yeah, see you later.
And otherwise he'd have to say, you're there. Oh shit, what if I fail this?
Right.
Contingency plans. Yeah, exactly. So those 2 guys are now kind of useless because, the orcs have passed them by on every side, which means they need to become useful again. So Baneling could go help out by stopping low blow nose dice, for instance, just standing next to him, marking him, keeping him from advancing. And Hydralisk is kind of in a shitty spot because he's screened off on all sides.
Yeah.
So
I think I screen off the mighty bald one chomp with him. The one who's screening him, I just screen him back.
Yeah, it's not bad. Oh. So I see you're making a blitz here with the strength 4. Mm-hmm. Okay, I can see that. But not before...
because it
was he prone, the strength 4?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
And it was important as to what happened, as to why. I did think about that. Was one of the very few things I actually seemed to think about in this game, which was I needed to see what happened.
Okay. 4, 6. So if you were gonna mark the Swift Rage, I would have probably made a GFI with what's his name, this guy Hydralisk, to mark him. And then used Baneling to go more towards your own end zone, because now you're leaving him a lot of room on the other flank again.
On the left flank.
Your left, yes. Because he can block you off with some ease. Just stand up, guy, and remove your strength 4. Oh, he doesn't. Okay. And he could blitz your... So you've got 1 safety, basically, right?
Yeah.
Roach?
Yeah.
And he's very blitzable. So he had the option of blocking off Overlord, blitzing off Roach...
Well, technically I've got Zergling as well, a little bit. I mean, he'd have to dodge out, I suppose. But I'd have a 2 die on him with the...
Yeah, but if his thrower hands off to Jimmy Bantastic, and Jimmy Bantastic takes a run towards your left flank...
Oh, then it's only Roach that can reach him.
Then it's only Roach, and if Roach gets blitzed, and Brute Lord gets blocked, and Lurker and Brute Lord gets screened off as well, which he can do with the Troll, for instance, then you're not stopping him. Then he's next to that number 20 there, on the left.
Yeah.
Well, I exaggerate. He's more towards the number 16. Yeah. So he's on the 14-yard line. Yes. with Roach down and Brute Lord either down or squeezed in. That means he's good to go. He'd have to risk it on a 3+ handoff, which he may not even need to do. But you're giving him the option of getting past you and That's something you want to avoid, basically.
Just a question. Like,
Yes.
Am I going mental? On my side of the pitch, you've got 12, 16, 20. And on their side of the pitch, you've got 6, 10, 14.
On 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Yeah. On your side, the dark squares are marked.
Same on his.
And on his side, the dark squares are marked. Yeah, but that makes sense because your side of the LOS is light and his side of the LOS is dark.
Oh, yeah, so it is alternated. Right, I just thought I was going to...
Yeah. Right, that was an interesting aside.
Sorry about that. I just had to quickly question my own sanity in the middle of a replay. Right.
Yeah. All right. No, you're perfectly sane.
So then he cages up, and after that, I'm screwed because there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, I was still looking at the touchdown options, but yeah.
I tried to make a couple of dodge, blitz, two guys, and they don't work.
If you already think there's nothing you can do from this situation, then the half die isn't awful.
The half die, where?
Right now, your
Where is right now?
Roach. Oh, sorry. Yes, I keep forgetting you can't see what I'm seeing. I'm looking at your turn 12.
My turn 12.
So
yeah, okay.
If you think you still got a shot, in this case, yeah, not really. If you think you still got a shot, then you might not want to do that. But if you think, well, I'm basically screwed now, then you could half die with Roach. He doesn't have block, which makes it a lot less appealing. But if he gets a push on Ducke, the troll, then suddenly you've got a shot at the ball.
So instead of doing what I do, so I blitz the tackle guy, then take the half die, thinking I'm probably not going to make it, but I'll throw it anyway. But you're saying, in a dire situation, throw the half die, hope to God, and then hit the ball carrier.
Yeah, if safe options don't exist, then a half die, which needs a push and not a both down, can be a valid play. I mean, you've got 4 results which are good for you.
Yeah.
So that's
so you need to dodge 2 and 2. And 1 and 1.
Yes, exactly. And 1 and 2 and 2 and 1. Yes.
Yeah. So what's that? Oh, maths. Anyway. Right, so I understand the situation. So take the half die, then try and blitz the ball carrier, because frankly, nothing else is going to work anyway.
Yeah, if you think you're in the situation where you don't have any safe options, then that's actually quite a valid play. And if it works, then suddenly the Orcs are struggling to regain control of the ball again.
Especially if you accidentally KO their ball carrier, so they've not got any sure hands or anything. Right, I see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Or just you happen to wind up with 1 or 2 tackle zones onto the ball.
Super. I'm happy with that, and I feel like I got what I wanted, which was just sort of a bit more of a feeling about what to do with Orcs and to hopefully not make some of the same rookie mistakes. So
cool. Okay. Well, I'm glad that that you've got what you were looking for out of this. I found it a very enjoyable experience once again.
Super.
I hope the viewers did as well. And good luck in your UK BBL match then.
Thank you. I'll post my tears and/or celebrations in the Discord.
All right. When's the match?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Thanks very much. Cheers again, Sage.
And I'll also be ending the stream here. I guess I'll talk to you on Discord for a little bit, and Hunter, if you're still around, I'll talk to you as well about scheduling. You guys, thank you all for watching. This was fun, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow if I can get my new laptop to work properly, streaming and everything, because that will take some time getting things set up. All right, bye, folks. See you next time. Later. Alright YouTube, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, remember to leave it a thumbs up at the bottom. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos, do check out the channel and hit subscribe on your top right.